We see a couple of boys running in a backyard. They climbed onto a trampoline as they began to bounce on it, having fun. We see a smaller boy make it up to them. "Hey guys, can I jump on it this time?" he asked. "No! It's only for big boys," one of them teased. "But I am, please," he asked. "No! Just go sit down and shut up," he said harshly, until his brother stopped him. He whispered to his brother's ear. "Huh?" he asked. The younger brother on the trampoline whispered again. The other smirked. "Okay, I'm sorry, Benjamin. You can come up and play with us," he said. Benjamin smiled, excited as he raced forward. "David came up with a game. Want to play?" he asked. "Uh-huh," Benjamin said, happily obliged. Suddenly, in the present, Benjamin screamed as he cut a biter's head off, as everyone began to fight their way out of the auditorium. The dog kept barking as they moved away from the lobby. "This way!" They suddenly saw more walkers coming from that way. "Fuck! Upstairs! Go!" Benjamin shouted. Benjamin and his team moved upstairs. As they all run up the stairs, they fail to notice a large nail sticking up. A foot slams down as Brent screams. His foot is caught on the massive nail. "Shit!" Benjamin shouted as he pulled his foot off. He shouldered him as the dog ran up the stairs. "Hurry! Watch out for the nails!" he shouted. "Yeah," Brent said in pain. They saw more zombies coming to them. "Save your ammo!" Benjamin shouted. Benjamin moved forward as he tried to feel for the nails with his boots. He stabbed a walker and tossed it over the stairwell. The biter fell all the way down, falling dozens of feet as it splattered. Benjamin continued on to clear a path for the others. Benjamin finally made it to the top when he ducked as Leo and the other trappers fired their guns into his direction. Benjamin used a walker as a shield and jumped quickly into the nearest column. He signaled for his team to stay put. Come out wherever you are!" Leo shouted. Suddenly the dog came barking and jumped forward as Benjamin looked on. "Shit!" Leo screamed as he aimed his gun, firing 2 shots, hitting the dog as it dropped down to the ground, instantly dying. The dog was dead, bleeding on the ground as Leo looked. "Wrong dog," he said, chuckling. Benjamin reloaded his gun before standing up. "Leo!" Benjamin shouted as he stood up and fired his gun. He missed him, but hit several trappers around him. "You talk big when you trap people in your stupid fucking traps! Well, let's see how cocky you'll be as a fucking severed head!" he shouted. Leo and them took cover as the walkers were still coming for them. "Get back here, you fucking coward!" Benjamin raced forward as the other trappers retreated. "Run! Run! You think that will save you?" Benjamin laughed. "It only prolongs the inevitable!" he shouted. Back in Helios, we see Liza walking with her sister and the boys outside. It was peaceful. "Do you remember when we used to walk on Sundays around the neighborhood?" Jessica asked. "Of course, we had to. Dad was always drunk in front of the TV, and all that secondhand smoking we got from him," Liza stated. "He was... God, honestly, how did we survive with that man? How could anyone so unloving have children?" she asked. "Some people are just not meant to be parents," Liza told her. "You know, part of me was jealous of you," Liza told her sister. "You were jealous of me?" she asked. "I was. You were always the strong one," she said. "Being able to handle anything that the world threw at you," she said. Liza looked kind of saddened. "I'm sorry for what I said to you back in the city months ago. You're not weak, Jessica. You're strong too," she stated. "I'm not," she said. "No, you are. You had 2 amazing boys with Chris. I know I can come off as a little bit itchy, or a lot," she stated. "But I never wanted to hurt you or make you feel like you didn't belong. It's just that, what if what happened to Kaylee and Lacey happened to you?" she stated. "It almost did with Jordan," she said. "When he was taken, I was so scared. I wouldn't even respond. I was in complete shock. I didn't look at Chris for days. God, I was so horrible to him," she said. "You were in grief," Liza told her. "I was horrible to him. I know you're not evil, Liza. The loving sister I grew up with is still in there. But I think Caden is too far in the darkness," she told him. And I don't want to see him drag you down in with him. You've had to have seen it, how he's gotten these last few years. It's only gotten worse, she told her. I have noticed something, but he's lost so much. You can't understand that, Liza told her. But is this what you want? Jess asked. He's been more angry and brutal with his tactics. Sometimes I feel like it's necessary, but other times it's not. I love him as much as you love Chris, she told her. But does he love you as much as you love him? She asked Liza. Liza was stopped. There have been times I wanted to try and maybe start a family with him. But every time I try to bring it up, something gets in the way. Like he avoids the conversation, she told her. You know, our leader Benjamin took us in his group. He protected us from the CRM and the dead. He gave us a place in the city, and all Caden and Trevor did was torture him. They did save you. If it wasn't for him, you and the boys wouldn't be here right now. I'm going to try and see if I can make things easier for Benjamin and Rachel. As long as they follow the rules, it's the least I can do for them after they kept you and the boys safe for so long, she stated. Jess thanks her sister, hugging her. Liza hugged back, excited for the first affection in years. Where is Benjamin anyways? She asked. I don't know, but I'll find out, she told Jessica. Back in Huntington, we see Tyler bearing several Walker bodies as he goes on about his day. Several other people walk by him, helping out. Sarah helps him as he looks. Mrs. Garrett? He said, surprised. Just Miss now, she corrected him. What are you doing here? He asked. I'm helping out, she stated. Why? He asked. What else am I supposed to do? She asked. What about your flower shop? What about Dina? He asked. Grace is watching her, she told him. Have you two been holding up? He asked. I'm doing fine, she told him. Tyler wasn't convinced. He watches as the Patriots hand out and distribute rations for them, despite that it's in their home. Tyler left as he headed to the house. He looked, seeing Merle. Hey boy, he patted his head. Merle was whimpering. You miss Sean, he said, as he held on to him. You got a funny name, he said as he continued. We see Rachel talking with Hill. The walls are finally all fixed up. Suddenly, lots of shouting was heard. A fight was breaking out as several people attacked the Patriots. A fight broke out as Hill looked on. Holy shit! He said, as it was. Hey, enough! Hill shouted. They broke up their people. What the hell is going on here? He asked. Patrick was there. I found this in my home! Vince held it up. It's a fucking microphone! He shouted. The Patriots are spying on us! You kill our people! Take our food, our guns, and now spy on us? He shouted. Lieutenant Hill, is that true? She asked. Hill was nervous. Okay, yes, it's true, he told him. Everyone was in uproar. How dare you! It isn't safe here anymore. We should leave. Where are we going to go? Everyone babbled. The fighting got worse as everyone started hitting each other. The civilians began to grab onto the Patriots and try to take their guns. Enough! Hill shouted. He got on the radio. Attention all teams, we got a riot! He told him. Patrick looked on with Adrian, seeing the chaos. Oh, fuck, what are they doing? Rachel tried to calm everyone down as it was getting worse. No live rounds, he shouted. Hill took a baton and smacked a man in the leg before kicking him down. The Patriots took gas and fired at the civilians' feet, scaring them off, as Rachel looked on. She went gathering as many people and directing them away. Hill continued subduing them and shouted, Enough! Stand down! Hill pushed his man. Stand the fuck down! Now! He ordered. The Patriots then brought Vince in front of him. What's your name? He asked, as Vince spit in his face. Hill smacked him in the face, breaking his nose. Lieutenant, please, no! He's one of my people! I will take care of this! He'll never do this again, I promise you, she begged. I'm sorry, Rachel, but my hands are tied, he said. Back with Trevor, we see him and his team moving through the street and into the building. The zombies from the street were chasing them. The door was locked. Break this fucker open! He shouted. Someone handed him a crowbar as he struck it in the door. Trevor used it against the door as his team was covering him. The dead are almost on us, sir! The soldier warned. Yes, thank you, Captain Fucking Obvious! He shouted. The door finally opened as they all got in, but a soldier was grabbed from the back. Ah! No! Get away! Guys! He shouted. They fired their guns as the zombies were biting into it, but Trevor closed the door as the screaming continued. Everyone was shocked at the loss of their teammate, and how Trevor didn't even try. Fucking get something to barricade this door, dipshits! He shouted. Myers grabbed a cabinet and used it against the door. That's not gonna hold, he stated. They then heard some shots going off above them. Stairs! Stairs! He ordered. We see Liza inside the main building as she asked for the general. She makes it to the conference room, where she sees him making plans. Hello, General, she said. Liza? I haven't seen you all afternoon, he stated. Well, I was spending some quality time with my sister and the boys, she told him. That's good. So, they're coming back into the fold? He asked. If you mean slowly reestablishing a relationship with me, then yes, she told him. So they're not on our side, he stated. I'm afraid not, she said. Liza, I'm happy you're happy. But what if they try planning another escape, he told her. I won't let that happen, she said. I know you won't, but you know damn well that Jessica will choose Chris and the boys before you every time, he told her. They don't put you first, not like I do, he stated. Liza took his hand. If you're worried she's going to turn me against you, don't be. I'm with you all the way till the end, she stated. Caden kissed her. I'm not worried about that. Just worried of seeing you get hurt again. I got tough skin, she told him. The toughest. You have to be to put up with me. I know I can be a real hard ass sometimes, he stated. Yeah, you are, she said. Okay, he said. So did you want something? He asked. I did. I wanted to ask. Suddenly, the radio went off. Sir, we got a situation. Damn it, hold that thought. What's it? He asked. Hours later, we see Caden and Liza make it to Huntington as they speak with Hill. What the fuck happened here? He asked. Civilians found the microphones when we were distributing rations. Luckily, no one was killed, but, he stated. Who started it? He asked. We then see Vince, Kenton's father, locked up. So you're the one who started this little rebellion, he told him. Vince jumped up, grabbing the bars. Fuck you! You murdered my son! He was patrolling the roads, keeping our people safe, and you and your men killed him! He shouted. What are you gonna do? Kill me too? He asked. Where's Rachel? Miles asked. Suddenly, we see the courthouse as men were bringing in Rachel to it. Miles whispers to one of them as Tyler tries to come inside. Hey! Hey! He shouted. That's my fucking sister! He shouted. Tyler, it's okay, she calmed him down. No, it's not. I don't trust them. If you do anything to her, he warned. Get the brat out of here, Miles ordered. Jesus, he's just like that other kid, he stated. Sean, Liza informed. Yeah, whatever. Rachel was in front of Miles. He looked down, seeing her baby. How far along are you? He asked. 6 months, give or take, she stated. Wow, didn't think you were even pregnant last time I was here, he told her. So tell me, Rachel, why is it that this man tried to start a fucking revolution in my city, he asked. You're the leader, are you not? I mean, I placed you in charge as the leader all those months ago. Maybe you should have tried harder, he told her. General, please, it's not her fault. It was one citizen, Liza stated. Miles listened. I suppose that's also true. You can't destroy a whole tree just because of one bad apple, but regardless, you should have seen it, he stated. So, Rachel Hunter, who does the fault lie with? You or him? He aimed his gun at Vince, he said, intimidating her. Rachel was nervous. This man said I killed his son, and he tried to start a revolution. A poor one, but regardless, in the city I trusted you with. You're supposed to keep the citizens calm. Maybe if you did your fucking job instead of fucking, this wouldn't have happened, he insulted her. How fucking dare you, you piece of shit! If her husband was here, he'd fucking rip your throat out! Vince shouted. Husband, he said. Who is he? He asked. He's not here, General Miles. I lost him before you came here. I knew this man, Victor. She stopped. Liza got in between them. General, I think we're straying off course, she stated. Miss Hunter, the General put you in charge of the city because when we first met you months ago, you had the most level head out of everyone and were willing to cooperate with us. But you have failed in keeping your people in line, she told her. I understand, Commander, but I have been trying my best. All our vehicles, guns, ammo, and gasoline were confiscated. Vince found surveillance equipment in his house. How are we supposed to react? We gave up our rights for peace and safety for the Patriots, but everyone is already hurting so much, and this only added more of the hate and pain, she told him. Miles listened to her as he turned. Commander, draw your weapon, he ordered. Rachel was alarmed, but Liza listened. She pulled her gun out as Vince watched. I told you there would be consequences if anyone stepped out of line, Miles stated. Rachel clenched her stomach. Liza was twitching a little. Why was she so nervous? I was really hoping you'd do a better job than this, Rachel, but it's clear your people need a reminder, he threatened. Rachel backed against the wall as he kept coming close to her. Rules were meant to be broken, but not mine, he stated. Shoot him, he ordered, as Liza turned around and shot Vince in the head. His head jerked backwards as the bullet goes through his head. Blood pours out as Rachel screamed in shock, covering her ears. Fuck, that was loud, Miles stated. Sir, is everything okay? A soldier asked. It is now. Come on, we've wasted enough time here, he stated. Please do better this time, Miss Hunter. We hate to have to come back for another unpleasant visit, he warned. Rachel stood there hyperventilating. Her ears were ringing. She was terrified. She looked seeing Vince's dead body. As she was nauseous, she used her strength getting up and made an opening for the door. Rachel finally made it outside. Help! Someone help! She shouted weakly. There's been a murder, she said. Rachel then saw a crowd outside as she looked. Wait, what's going on? Rachel asked. She saw Dr. Roberts there. She looked as Tyler was lying on the ground in bruises. Oh my God! She said. It's okay, Rachel. He just has some bruises and a black eye, she stated. Okay? This is not okay! What the hell happened? Tyler, oh God, what did he do to you? She asked. I wanted to see you, and they wouldn't let me. He stopped. Rachel took his hand as she cried, holding onto her little brother. Back in the city, we see Trevor going up the stairs as Myers was next to him. You get Leo's head and you get a promotion, he asked. That's the plan, he told him. Honestly, I might be interested in helping you out with that other thing on your mind. If we live through this, that is, Myers told him. Suddenly, they stepped in something as mist exploded in the stairwell. Masks on! Trevor stated. The smoke was everywhere, but their gas mask protected them from the smoke grenades. Is that all you fuckers got? Trevor screamed. Let's keep moving, he stated. We see more trappers above them as they move quietly. Trevor saw them and fired his gun. As his team did, their backs were completely turned. They began to step in something. As they moved through, biters were coming all around them, as zombies were coming right behind them. Door! The door! He screamed, when numerous walkers grabbed onto him. Everyone backed up as they tackled him. He landed backwards to the stairs as the Patriots started firing their guns in multiple directions. Up the stairs! Go, go, go! Trevor shouted. They all followed the officer, leaving the man for dead, as the dead suffocated the soldier before tearing into the screaming Patriot. Back with Benjamin, he and his team moved to the hallways as he was killing and plowing through the zombies. His team was falling behind. Sir, wait, you're going too fast, they stated. Benjamin ignored them as he kept going. A trapper appeared, swinging an axe. Benjamin used a walker as a shield. As the axe struck the biter in the back, Benjamin slit his throat as the man clenched his neck. Benjamin then stabbed the walker in the head before he kept moving. One of his squad mates cut off. It was Cook. Sir, wait for me, he said. Go back with the others. You only slow me down, he told him. Brent, Calvert, and the others looked as Benjamin and Cook were too far ahead of him. Hunter doesn't care for us. He's a danger to himself and us, Calvert stated. More walkers were flooding the hallways, splitting them up. Let's go through this hall! The team ran somewhere else. Benjamin and Cook saw several trappers. They engaged each other as one person pulled a pin grenade. Benjamin fired at the woman, hitting her as she dropped it. Shit! They screamed. As she dropped it, it exploded, shattering the hallway. The windows exploded as blood smeared everywhere. The rubble began to settle as Benjamin and Cook sat up coughing. "That was close. Nice shot," he told Benjamin. Benjamin didn't say anything as he kept moving. "We should wait for reinforcements, Corporal," he said. "I don't need it," Benjamin said as he kept moving. Elsewhere, we see Patrick and several other civilians outside the walls. Adrian was walking alongside his father. "I can't fucking believe what happened. We should have done something, Dad," he said. "No, son, not yet," he said, when Adrian stopped him. "You said months ago that we were finally going to fight back, but we're still waiting and doing nothing, just like before," he cried. "No, we're biding our time. Now that Vince is dead and Tyler is hurt, everyone is going to hate the Patriots even more now than ever," he told his son. "Now we're going to get more people joining the fight," he told him. "So this is good?" Adrian asked. "Yes, son. I know it's brutal and we waited long enough, but we're so close now. Once we have enough fighters, nothing will stop us. We'll have all the soldiers and guns we need. Angela and the others are all on our side too. The city will be with us. It's a shame what happened, but it was a necessary sacrifice. Now the Patriots think we'll behave again. But now that everyone knows they're listening in our homes, everyone will be joining us," he told him. "Wait, sacrifice? Did you tell Vince about the microphone in the house?" he asked. "I did," he told him. "Wait, what? And he knew he'd react like that? What if Rachel died?" he asked. "It was a risk I was willing to take," he told him. "I can't believe you. After what she did for us? If it wasn't for her, I would fucking die by the CRM, he told his father. "Adrian, listen." "No! I am done listening. I am not letting you get someone else killed. I don't even know who you are anymore," Adrian said, walking away furious at his father. "Mom and William would be ashamed," he stated, breaking his father's heart. Patrick stood there as he began to cry. As they were moving, hall to hall, Benjamin heard something from the other side. He kicked down a door as if wide open. He heard shouting as he dodged an arrow attack, and he moved to the right and shot his gun, hitting two trappers, killing them both. As Benjamin moved, Cook followed him. Cook fired his gun, drawing their attention as he was out of ammo. The trappers all heard it together as they ran down a long hallway. "Come on, this way!" they shouted, fully retreating. Benjamin followed after him. "Why are you running?" Benjamin asked. "Think that'll save you?" he asked. Cook reloaded his gun and finally made it to Benjamin. "We've got them on the run," he said, proud. Suddenly, Benjamin heard a sound. "What was that?" he asked, as the sound continued below them. "What was what?" Cook asked. Suddenly, the floor beneath them collapsed as the weak wooden beams gave way. The floor levels dropped as Benjamin and Private Cook fell down into another trap. In the past, we see the three boys still on the trampoline. "Okay, Benjamin, so you're gonna stay still, alright? Don't move. Sebi and I are gonna jump for a little bit, and then you'll start jumping with us, alright?" Young Benjamin nodded. "Okay," Benjamin said, happy with some confusion. The boys smirked as they began. "Alright, let's do this." The brothers jumped into the air, rising up in the air. Benjamin was a little nervous, trying to stand still on his side, despite the motions. 1, 2, 3! The boys shouted as they jumped forward. They landed right in front of Benjamin as the force ejected him back. Benjamin screamed as he fell backwards off the trampoline. He fell hard on his back on the grass as the wind was knocked out of him. In the present, Benjamin gasped as he rolled on the concrete. He clutched his chest, coughing, as he tried to regain his composure. He was lying on the ground as he looked up, seeing a broken construction platform that broke his fall. Much higher was the trap floor he fell through. Benjamin began to hear ringing in his head as a voice spoke. "My turn," it said. Benjamin looked, seeing that Cook was pierced with multiple wooden spikes sticking in the ground next to him. He barely missed them during his fall. Benjamin looked as a walker was coming towards him. He then dodged it as he tripped before grabbing its head and slamming it neck first into the spikes. Benjamin laughed. Several more came to him, but he grabbed one walker's arm, breaking it before throwing its head against the concrete slab as Benjamin stomped his foot down on its head. killing it. The last walker growled as he tackled it to the wall. They slammed together as Benjamin grabbed its face before bashing it over and over against the wall. The walkers tried to break free, still being alive, but Benjamin stabbed his knife through its throat, pushing it through the brain. He dropped the corpse as he heard something else. He looked, seeing his discarded walkie. He heard his squad calling out for him. They were asking where he and Cook were, but Benjamin dropped it down, ignoring them, before walking away and leaving it as he continued through the building to kill more trappers. Back where Trevor and the others continue going up the stairs when a trapper drops a light. "Fuck! Get back! Get back!" he shouted as the stairs immediately caught fire. Door! Get through the fucking door!" he shouted. They made it out as Trevor looked, seeing a raider. The man tried to run away, but he fired his gun, killing him. "Kill everyone you find! I am sick of these fucking trappers in this fucking city!" he ordered. Loud gunfire erupted as Benjamin moved through a hallway. Behind him were several dead walkers, all lying on the ground. He was covered in their blood. We see Benjamin dodge a walker before slamming it against a window. He throws it out of the building and screamed. The other walkers charging him as Leo took his radio. "Squad 5, what's the status?" he asked. He hears blood and screaming and continue as the gunshots erupt all around him. In the past, we see little Benjamin after landing on his back. He was coughing violently as the air left him. "Whoa, is he okay?" Sebi asked. "He's fine." "Hey, Ben, get up. It was just a joke," David said, peeking over. Neither of the boys rushed to his aid. "Oh man, what if we get in trouble?" he asked. Benjamin continued to lie on the grass in pain, clutching his chest, as he believed he was dying. "Get up! Get up!" he heard echoing. Back with Trevor, he continued killing trappers as he gunned down many of them. Several of them had their hands raised, but Trevor fired, killing them anyways, even the women trappers. "They were surrendering," a soldier stated. "There is no surrender. Not after what they did to the others we lost. We take no prisoners," Trevor said, bloodthirsty. "We kill everyone we find, and remember, the leader's head is mine," he ordered. Suddenly, he heard shouting and muffling. We see a dark room when a light shines through it. We see scared and tied up survivors inside a large room. We see Henry and several scared men and women with gags in their mouths. We see Patriots at the door. "Sergeant, we found the hostages," he shouted. Later that day, we see Patrick coming home as Kat and Adrian are helping his wife. They were cleaning up the dinner table. Charlotte ignored her husband's arrival. "Are you kids sure you don't want my help?" she asked. "We're sure, Mom. Go relax," Adrian stated. Kat was helping him with the dishes. "We'll take care of this, Miss Wright." "You've done enough," Kat said, as Adrian looked at his father very annoyed. "Hello, Mr. Wright," Kat greeted. "You missed dinner again," Adrian told his father. "I know. I'm sorry," he said. "Yeah, well, I've gotten used to that and your sorries," he told him. Kat looked on, seeing the fight, and excused herself, leaving. "Can we not do this right now? Here?" he asked. "Sure, of course. Whatever you want. We've been avoiding it for months. Let's just keep forgetting it, right? You've been so focused on work, you never check on Mom, see how she's doing, how she's feeling. It's just work, work, work," Adrian said, pissed. "Son," he said, "just like before, with your meetings and appointments when we were kids," he said, upset. "Adrian, please," Patrick begged. "It's just what William used to say too, when we were little. But you always pawned us off to Mom. Too busy," he cried. "Son, enough," he shouted. "Don't call me that! Don't!" He was pissed. "You were never there for us when we were sick. When we fought, God, all the times I fought with him. But at least I was there growing up," he said. "You're right, Adrian," Patrick said. "You know, all the times I called him a baby, made fun of him when we were younger, I just want to take it all back. I want to tell him I'm sorry, he said. I do too. William was so patient with me. I wanted to help him find someone just like you did. I wanted you boys to become better men than me, and I failed you, Patrick stated. I never deserved your mother or you boys. You three put up with me, and it took the end of the world for me to finally spend time with you three, he stated. I know I was a bad father, and I know I failed William, but there's still hope for you and Kat. There is, he told him. Patrick wrapped his arms around his devastated son. We'll be okay. We're going to be okay, he said, as Kat listened from the next room. In her bedroom, we see Charlotte praying next to a picture of William as she laid it on the bed. Deliver us, Lord. Please deliver us from our tormented souls and give us strength for what comes next, she cried as Patrick walked in. Charlotte looked as her husband entered their bedroom. Hello, hon. Sorry I missed dinner again, he stated. I know how busy you are with work, she told him coldly. Can we talk? He asked. I want to finish this, she said. Can I join you? He asked. Can we talk? He offered. We don't need to talk about anything, Patrick, she said. Of course we do, he said. About William, he said. Charlotte got up and tried to leave. I don't want to do this, she said. What's wrong? Just tell me what's wrong, Charlotte, he asked. Everything is wrong. You were so focused on avenging William, you didn't mourn our son. You left me to mourn for him alone. Adrian and Kat were there, but you weren't. I needed you. I wanted to talk to you about this for months, but you never came, she cried. Patrick was upset. I know. I am so sorry what I put you through, but I'm here now. Doesn't that count? Yes. Not enough, she said. I know it isn't. Things have gotten so hard around here. Not just with William gone, with everything. The Patriots took so much from us, but I was so blind to see that I still had so much. That's why I don't want to lose the rest of you, he told her. We should have talked about this months ago, she said. You're right. I've been a horrible husband to you. I left you to mourn William without me, and that's unforgivable. I deserve that, he said. So what do we do now? She asked. Patrick took her hands. I think just us being honest about William and our feelings would be a good place to start, he asked. The older couple sat down and they looked through their old family portraits. Back in the city, we see a few Patriots untying and freeing the captive civilians from Greensville. In another hallway, we see Trevor, Myers, and a few others watching through the other parts of the building. They noticed fresh blood everywhere. This wasn't us, Myers said. No, it was the Black Wolf, Trevor stated. They opened the door into a large construction room inside the skyscraper. They looked, seeing a walker growling on the floor with the wooden spikes. Holy shit, that's Cook, Myers said as he looked. He was pierced through with multiple wooden spikes through him. Trevor pulled his gun out, shooting him. He then looked, seeing a radio. It was Benjamin's. It's not even broken, Trevor stated. Myers looked, seeing several bodies lying all around the room as they started to open their eyes, reanimating. Leo and his remaining men grabbed their guns as the doors burst open. Shit! The doors! They all fired at the doors as several walkers were coming in. The walkers were getting inside, but they were getting killed. It was behind them. Benjamin moved from with their back and fired his gun several times. He hit two of them as Leo saw him. You! He shouted. Benjamin ducked, dodging the bullets as he used a walker as a shield. Leo was using his bullets as he thinned out the walkers. There were barely any left as he looked. Out of dead, fucker! He stated when he killed the last one. His gun clicked. Out of ammo, fucker! Benjamin said back. Leo moved, trying to reload his gun, but Benjamin jumped up before shooting. He fired multiple rounds as he clipped Leo in the arm and leg. Ah, fuck! You fucker! He said in pain. Looks like you fell for my trap, fuckhead, he stated. Benjamin got his knife before jumping into the air and kicking Leo over the table. Leo grabbed a glass paperweight, but Benjamin stabbed his knife into his right hand. As Leo screamed, he dropped it as Benjamin punched him in the face before grabbing and taking his own knife from him. He then pushed his other hand down again and stabbed the knife into his hand as he screamed again, "Ah!" Leo was in agony. Outside, Trevor, Myers, and the others hear the loud screaming from far off. "This way, come on!" he shouted. Benjamin then walked around the table, intimidating Leo. "You're just another one of Miles's mad dogs. Sooner or later, you'll die too. Put down like another dog. No one will remember you," he stated. Benjamin grabbed his head, pulling his hair. As he slammed him down, Benjamin grabbed his machete. Trevor and Myers looked around, seeing more blood everywhere. There was a broken window. Trevor went past this as Myers looked. Many floors and stories below them. Walkers were all on the ground together. In the streets, we see the walkers all piling on a destroyed corpse as its head reanimated. "Holy fuck," Trevor said as all around were several reanimated trappers, covered in stab and gunshot wounds coming towards them. Minutes prior, we see the trappers in the hallway as Benjamin arrives covered in blood. "Go, go!" they shouted, charging at him. One by one, they fall as we see Benjamin dodge a trapper's blade before slamming him against the window. Benjamin pushes him all the way through as he falls out of the building as the other trappers scream for him. Benjamin turns back to them as he keeps going. It cuts to black as minutes later he walks past the bodies of multiple trappers. Benjamin turns back, only seeing dead and decayed biters from his massacre. We then see Trevor suddenly hearing laughing. "What the fuck?" he asked. He looks, seeing dead trappers everywhere. In the past, we see Benjamin screaming as he jumped on top of Sebi. He began to beat on him as he started screaming. Benjamin punched his cousin over and over again as he was tackled to the ground. David started pinning him down and choking him. Benjamin grunted in pain as he couldn't speak. Benjamin pried his hand and clenched his fist as he smacked it right into David's face. David stopped choking him as he grabbed his own face. Blood was dripping from his nose as he cringed in pain. "Ow! Ow!" he said weakly. Benjamin got up and then smacked him in the back as Benjamin continued to beat him down. As David was screaming, "Stop! Stop, you idiot!" he shouted, but Benjamin wouldn't as he started screaming again. Benjamin smirked and started chuckling as he stood on top of them. The laughing got louder as Trevor burst through a set of double doors. Trevor looked on as men followed him. "Holy shit," they said. Dead bodies lay everywhere, walkers and trappers all dead as blood was dripping. Benjamin stopped laughing as he looked back at Trevor and the others. He smiled, smirking very creepily as he started walking to them. "Hope you don't mind. I went ahead," he said as he showed his arm. He was holding some hair. They looked on, shocked, seeing him holding Leo's severed head. "Here you go, sir. Just for you," he said, handing the severed head to Trevor. Trevor took it as he looked at it and back at him. Benjamin smiled and walked past him as he took a soldier's radio. Trevor and the others looked on, very disturbed, as he was still holding the bloody head. The head slowly opened its eyes as it started to growl. It growled as Trevor, as it cut to black.